She looked up, and just a few feet away stood the man she once called Dad. Heath Smiley, her stepfather, now entered the courtroom, not as family, but as a key witness. For 14-year-old Carly Gregg, that moment shifted everything. What followed stunned the courtroom: visible emotion, fleeting smiles, and a testimony no one expected. Was there something deeper behind their bond, or are the whispers of a secret connection just speculation, fueled by public curiosity? This is the story of a family torn apart, a courtroom gripped in silence, and a decision that changed everything, with consequences that could never be undone. It began in the quiet suburbs of Mississippi, where 14-year-old Carly Gregg lived with her mother, Ashley Smiley, and her stepfather, Heath. Ashley wasn't just a mom, she was Carly's teacher at school. By all outside appearances, they were a normal family navigating life. But behind the doors of their home, something had shifted. Carly had been withdrawn, battling internal struggles, and had recently changed medications. She confided in a few close friends about feeling misunderstood. Still, no one could predict what would unfold next. March 19, 2024 started like any other day, but by nightfall, everything had changed. Authorities were called to the home and found a deeply troubling scene. Ashley Smiley had been found unresponsive. Heath Smiley was wounded. Carly, just a teenager, was soon located nearby and taken in for questioning.
I guess you can put it in my vehicle with my key, and the key fob is in my left pocket.
All right, so go ahead and take it. All right.
Is my stepdad okay?
I don't know, baby. I can't talk to you about this.
Here, I'm just...
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Please tell. What?
Early reports shocked the local community, but things would only get more complex in the weeks ahead. As the trial began, the courtroom filled with reporters, family, and locals eager for answers. But nothing captured attention more than the moment Carly's stepfather Heath walked into the courtroom. Carly's expression shifted the moment she saw him, a subtle pause, a mix of emotion. Some say she looked shocked, others say she was relieved. What's certain is that she never expected him to take the stand. Heath recounted in detail the moment everything changed. He described arriving home, the shock of what he discovered, and the confrontation that followed. Though hurt, he didn't speak from a place of anger, but from heartbreak. He said, "She didn't recognize me. Something in her eyes was different." This testimony drew silence across the courtroom.
We all heard Carly screaming when you walked into the garage, from the garage into the kitchen on March 19th. How did Carly appear to you when you walked in?
Like I said, my initial thoughts were she was terrified, scared out of her mind. I still to this day don't think she ever even recognized me. Something was wrong there. I don't know what, but something was off.
Throughout the trial, Carly's demeanor was complicated. At times, she appeared emotional, wiping away tears when her stepfather spoke about her mother. But then, during other moments, she cracked small smiles, particularly when speaking privately with her legal team or when her stepfather mentioned their current relationship. He testified that they still talk and that they are good, a strange statement in the midst of everything, but perhaps it's a sign of a bond that hadn't fully broken. Her unusual close bond with her stepfather Heath has quietly captured attention across social media platforms. Online users, especially on TikTok and within various podcast communities, have raised questions. Was there something deeper than the typical parent-child relationship? These discussions gained traction due to several moments that stood out, both in and out of the courtroom. Viewers pointed to their consistent communication, warm physical exchanges caught on camera, and Carly's emotional responses during Heath's appearances in court. Some questioned why Heath, despite being a foster or step-parent figure, maintained constant contact and showed a level of support that felt unusually intense to observers.
Carly Gregg's stepdad is saying he still loves her. Heath Smiley even mouthed, "I love you," as she wept in court. Her stepdad was a key prosecution witness against Carly. But get this, he is now raising money for her appeal, and he still speaks with her whenever he can. That's baffling the prosecutor, who spoke to Allison Hall.
Keith Smiley and Carly Gregg continue to communicate with each other almost on a daily basis.
Wow. And do you know the nature of those communications?
So far, they just appear, to be talking about what's going on, their love for each other and things like that. Again, I don't understand it, but people process trauma in such different ways.
Before the incident that brought Carly into the public eye, their interactions were already drawing quiet curiosity. Text messages between them, Heath's presence at nearly every court proceeding, and his emotional commitment raised eyebrows among those watching closely. Even after legal guidelines limited communication, Keith appeared willing to stretch boundaries to maintain a presence in Carly's life. This behavior, while legally ambiguous in the eyes of some, was interpreted by others as simply a display of deep paternal care. Media coverage, though careful not to make any unfounded claims, sometimes echoed the online tone.
Talk about was she never inquired about her mother. I mean, that's why I was saying that, she only asked about her stepdad. Hence, even when she got out of the car, she asked, "How's my stepdad?" It was never she never said, "Is my mom okay?" or anything like that. I assumed that she didn't even know about her mom, and I didn't know the full details of the case whenever I got there.
Tell us about yours and Carly's relationship before March 19, 2024.
We were always good. We laughed and played and messed around, loved video games, and took her to karate stuff until she kind of got tired of that, and she started going to guitar practice weekly, so I was taking her to that every week. We got along great.
Reports often noted that Heath fought hard to stay connected with Carly, showing unwavering support from start to finish. This included staying aligned with the prosecution, not stepping away or becoming a controversial figure, something that might have occurred had there been anything improper to hide. Despite the speculation, it's important to acknowledge the facts. No legal filings, courtroom testimony, or formal accusations have ever indicated anything inappropriate. No judge, lawyer, or investigator has presented evidence that suggests misconduct. Keith remained on the side of the prosecution throughout the trial, actively contributing as a witness for the case, hardly the behavior of someone entangled in a hidden scandal. Ultimately, the whispered questions about Carly and Heath remain just that, whispers, with no concrete evidence to support the more extreme theories. The narrative currently rests on public perception shaped by emotional displays and consistent contact, not documented wrongdoing. As with many high-profile cases, what the public sees and what legally matters don't always align, but the interest in their bond shows how deeply people connect with not just facts, but feelings, and how complicated family dynamics can spark more questions than answers. While many have wondered, due to their visible closeness and courtroom demeanor, there is absolutely no credible or factual basis for claims of a secret relationship between Carly Gregg and Heath Smiley. It's speculation amplified online, not documented reality. After hours of arguments, expert testimony, and emotional statements, the jury reached a decision. Carly was found guilty on all charges. She was then sentenced to life in prison for what the court determined was a deliberate act. Additional years were added for tampering and related offenses. There would be no second chance, not under the current ruling.
Tonight, a Mississippi teen sentenced to life in prison without parole.
The jury sentenced the defendant, Carly Mass and Gregg, to life imprisonment.
15-year-old shooter Carly Gregg sobbing in court as she learned her fate.
Carly Gregg is evil, and that's not easy to say, but the truth of the matter is sometimes evil comes in young packages.
This wasn't just about a courtroom. It was about a family, a teenager, a series of quiet warnings that perhaps went unnoticed. Carly's story forces us to ask some hard questions. Can someone so young fully understand the weight of their actions? When mental health is at play, where do responsibility and protection meet? And what happens to a family when the one who was protected becomes the one on trial. In the end, Carly Gregg's name is now remembered not just for the trial, but for the heartbreak it left behind. This case is just one of many that challenge how we understand justice, family, and mental health. Tap the next video on your screen to go deeper into another story that shocked the nation and changed the law forever. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next one.